So Tesla stock is exactly where I said it would be back when I made my last video update talking about Tesla, highlighting that it was most likely going to be entering into this phase of consolidation, which is why in my last video I said that I wasn't really interested in adding more shares of Tesla just yet, and there were many more opportunities available, such as gold, which was actually a swing trade idea I shared for those within the Push and Profit private group, which has recently just continued to make new all-time highs. But again, this is not a video to talk about the trade ideas we share within the Push and Profit private group, which, by the way, if you want to have access to my trade ideas and what I'm seeing in overall markets, make sure to check out the first link in the description down below. But no, this is a video talking about Tesla, and we have some very exciting news. See, it really starts off with this tweet right over here that we recently got from Elon Musk, stating that supervised full self-driving is now $99 per month. But for those that are unaware, this is a 50% drop in pricing that we previously had for FSD. Now, there's many ways that you could look at this. In fact, you could look at this from a negative perspective and say, oh, well, this is bad because now you're gonna make less revenue from FSD, but I want to highlight this from an optimistic point of view. And you guys know I'm not one of those channels that try to hype up every single little detail about Tesla or Elon Musk. I try to keep it as genuine as, the data actually shows. And one thing that we have to understand is that, yes, the price for FSD is lower, and so that's going to contribute to less revenue, but the reason why this is actually a win is because this is going to really help with the take rate of FSD. In fact, I want to show you guys this chart right over here, highlighting the global Tesla FSD take rate. Now, granted, this is a bit of a dated chart, but it's not hard to tell that the take rate is relatively low. But the thing that we have to understand is that with the FSD pricing model dropping 50% to just $99 per month, well, that is going to significantly increase demand and increase the take rate, which is good news because we know that this is a crucial time to go ahead and increase the take rates for FSD, because we know that this latest version of FSD is one of the versions that implements more of neural networks, which is kind of this AI learning where it kind of learns from the people using it and kind of observing through the camera lenses of the Tesla to help improve it, right? As everyone knows how AI works, the more data that you feed into it, the better AI becomes. And so this is absolutely great because, of course, yeah, it's not going to have a huge increase in FSD. It's not going to be like it's going to quadruple the take rate, right? We have to be realistic, but the reality is that it is going to increase it for some sort of amount, right? Of course, it's too early to say, is it going to be double? Is it going to be, 25%? The reality is it's much cheaper, and of course the take rate is more likely to increase, and this is at a good time because we know that robo-taxis are going to unveil in August 8th. Talked about that in the previous video, and we know that Tesla is still trying to go on this mission to have fully autonomous vehicles, and of course the more drivers that we have utilizing FSD, well, the good news is that then we'll have more miles under FSD, which, by the way, we just recently broke a major milestone. And so the more people that are using this, well, the better that it will improve. Again, it's just like the latest version, which is implementing AI. It's not mostly reliant on the coding. It's mostly reliant on honestly just learning from being on the road. And so the more people using this on the road, well, the better it is for Tesla. Now, one thing we also have to understand is that, yes, while the pricing is dropping, or the price is dropping by 50%, that's not great for margins. We have to understand that really service revenue from Tesla hasn't been something that's been performing terribly. In fact, I want you guys to take a look at this, which is the statement of operations, where you see that service revenue and other has been pretty much increasing from pretty much Q4 of 2022 all the way to Q3 of 2023. Now, granted, Q4 of 2023 remained flat, but the idea is that hopefully with more individuals utilizing FSD, it's going to hopefully spread more positivity and optimism for this product, and that could contribute to the service revenue increasing. And I don't know why I showed you guys this chart. I might as well just show you guys this chart right over here, because it's just much easier to not just see it in numbers, but see it from a visual perspective, where you guys see it on this chart right over here. And so again, this is absolutely great news for Tesla, but what I want to go ahead and do is hop into my laptop and talk about about what is it that we're currently seeing for Tesla and what are some things that we want to be mindful of moving forward. So I want to go ahead and hop into my laptop, but before we do so, if you're brand new to the channel, if you haven't done so already, consider tapping that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future upload. And while you're at it, make sure to check out the links in the description below, because one of the links is going to be a link to join the Push and Profit private group, which by the way is honestly where you want to be if you want to have access to my trade ideas. But enough with that, let's go ahead and hop into my laptop and kind of talk more about Tesla. Alrighty, so we are officially in my laptop taking a look at Tesla, and as I shared in previous videos, Tesla hasn't done anything special. I said that was most likely going to be consolidating, and the reason I said that was mainly because when you look at it from a technical perspective, looking at the volume profile, which is this right over here, we saw there was a lot of volume relative to price, meaning that there was a lot of exchanging between the buyers and sellers, and that wasn't going to allow Tesla to make a big move either up or down. It wasn't going to contribute to a huge directional move, which is why I've been patiently watching. Are we going to see Tesla fall down below this shelf and start falling down even further, in which then we'll probably want to look more into this gap over here? Or is Tesla going to finally break above this shelf of volume and start to bounce upwards? For a while now, I've been making a lot of content around Tesla. Back in, December 28th, I said Tesla was overvalued from a technical and fundamental perspective, and since then has been falling down, and people have been saying, well, this is the bottom, this is the bottom. People claimed it was the bottom back on 180, and I said, look, I didn't have that confirmation of the uptrend. We didn't see it. We saw Tesla fall down, and here we are again. I'm still waiting for confirmation of that directional move, and it's not that I have a crystal ball. Of course, it's just that, when you see a lot of volume relative to price, you need it to be below either here or here to see a big move in either direction, and we're just not there yet. But I want to add that this, catalyst news about this update with this change in the pricing for FSD, well, that could potentially help us get closer out of that shelf of volume. Now, I just zoomed in and you saw the volume profile change. That's simply because, of course, if you're cutting out some data over here with different price action, it's going to shift with the volume profile, right? That's just how it works. I know I get comments about that oftentimes, but that's where we are in regards to Tesla. Now, granted, it wasn't a great day for the broader markets as well. If we take a look at the SPY, we saw that the S&P 500 started falling down pretty heavy. Again, a lot of selling pressure, right? We had the CPI report where we had a big drop. We saw pretty much SPY pick back up, and then we ended up seeing SPY fall down even further. However, for those within the Push and Profit private group, we've been killing it with our trade ideas. For example, XOP just hit another all-time high. We also saw gold, which I mentioned earlier in this video, another all-time high. And these are just some of the swing trades ideas that I've shared, right? We've, of course, had other successful trade ideas like NVIDIA back in the beginning of the year. And so, again, if you want to have access to those trade ideas, make sure to check out the link in the description below. But again, I want to remind everyone, I don't have a crystal ball, and you should only trade and invest in whatever you see value in. But right now, what I'm seeing is that Tesla right now is not in a space to make a huge change in either direction, but this news can help Tesla start to push upwards. Now, of course, we're going to get a fundamental update of Tesla with their earnings coming soon. As we all know, earnings season just kicked in. We had some of the major financial companies or the big institutions, right? The big banks report their earnings. For example, we had Wells Fargo, we had JP Morgan, and we saw that JP Morgan actually broke down, right? We'll go ahead and probably want to talk about that within the Push and Profit private group, as well as just a few other banks. And so, again, we're kicking off earnings season, and so we're going to have an update on Tesla and the earnings. And of course, I don't know what the numbers are, but it's likely that it's not going to be that great of a report. And so that's really the next big driver, the fundamental report or the fundamental earnings, the data that we're going to get for that report. And then afterwards, then we may enter into an area where we may see some positive, good moves from Tesla. But again, I'll continue to keep you guys updated. By the way, again, if you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you found any value in today's video. And with that said, before you guys go, make sure to check out this next video right over here, and I'll see you guys on that next video. Take care, guys.